All right, now we're to step four. Step four, you put a mask on, which I know that I've had off this entire time I've been doing it, so it probably honestly is a moot point now. But I'm putting it on now because I do recommend it. If I wasn't talking to you guys and being on camera, so that I want you to be able to hear me enunciate, I would have had the mask on the whole time. So, all right, here we are. Also, a little tip that I know a lot of people would make fun of me for, but since I have a certain portion of my arm showing when I put through the box, they aren't going to be covered by gloves. When I took a shower and I scrubbed up before this, because which is also a huge tip, always shower before you do any mycological work whatsoever. You shower, you brush your teeth, you clean out your fingernails, you gargle. You want to make sure you're as clean as possible. I go one step further and I shave my arms down from where they actually enter the still air box, so it's one less way for bacteria. It's just a little bit cleaner. Just a little tip from your Uncle Josh. If you're not worried about someone making fun of you, but which I'm not, because it's pretty funny when you got a shotgun and they don't. All right. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm sterilizing. Once again, I'm spraying alcohol all over the inside, all over my arms, all over my hands, all up in the air inside there, whatever air there is. Now, you don't want to be making, I just kind of had to catch myself, a lot of swift, sudden movements while you're doing this. Remember, this is called a still air box. So you want as little movement in there as possible, which I know kind of sounds counterintuitive to trying to get this done so it doesn't get contaminated. But believe me, you really do want to take your time. And when you're doing this, you always want to have it in your head what you're going to do it and know what you're going to do it when especially when you're starting out, because once you start forgetting things and you realize you have to take the still air box back off and put more stuff in, you forgot something big, or it's just really it makes it hard, and it makes your success rate go down a lot more. Every time I feel that I have to open this thing back up or take the lid off or take the top off of this still air box, I feel like my chances have went down 50%, which is probably untrue, but I like to think of it that way because it keeps it in my head that way. All right, so now that I've sprayed the inside with alcohol, I just added a little bit of a hand sanitizer on top of that to my gloves before I start touching the uncle's bends. And like I said, I'm not too, horribly gonna sterilize anything in here again, because I did sterilize the hell out of everything when I was off camera. These are already sterilized, and you don't sterilize all of them when you start. When you're doing this, you just want to sterilize the one you're going to work with it first, because the less alcohol you got blown around in there too, the better, because we will be using a lighter in just a minute. So, okay, so I wipe down the bag, get it nice and dry, make sure there's no residual, alcohol on it. You definitely don't want it wet, so it gives a place for bacteria or any other kind of microbes to grow. All right, got my scissors, and I only snip the bottom to create my little standing shelf, which is gonna help in a minute. You'll see. Oh, I didn't realize I had it in front of the camera. How stupid is that? All right, so I've got it opened up so I can see. The reason why you cut these before you make the fresh air exchange is because you want to be able to see it when your syringe goes in. All right, so that's one, ready to go. Now, I've got my spore syringe. Now, once again, like I said, have in your mind what you're gonna do before you do it when you're doing this. These usually come in packs with 2, 3, 4 different kinds in there. And so you do, little things just like knowing which ones you're gonna use, so you're not sitting here digging around looking for a certain spore that you wanna use. Once again, making it absolutely not still air box. All right, So I had decided already on what I was going to use. So I will instantaneously take out, just hopefully, if you try, sometimes they're packed in there really tight. Okay, yeah. It's